Let's dive into Breakdance so you can edit content in the site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pages, right? So this website is using a page builder, a plugin that is called Breakdance to make the site like happen to build the blocks of the site. So here's in the pages page. It is the list of pages that we have in the site. Um, so if we hover over home and then we click in edit in Breakdance, I'm going to open this in a new tab. This will open the Breakdance editor and this will allow us to make modifications to the site in the, well, several screens. So first thing to do here is to click the structure panel, which is this little icon that looks like three sheets of paper stacked. I want to do that, and here we can see that we see pretty much the whole structure, right, and how the website is made of. We can see the elements, and most importantly, we can select them and use that structure panel to navigate and know where we are hovering and which element we have selected, so we can make modifications. And for example, in this case, we just selected this text. We can then, in the left sidebar, make the modification to the content that we want in this text. And once we get this, managing breakdowns becomes pretty straightforward because then we can select, for example, let's assume that we just want to change this image to another one. You can just select the element right here, and always in the left sidebar, we're going to see the configurations to apply to the element. In this case, let's assume that we want to change this image for something else. We can totally do that. I'm going to select another image for the media library, but you can also upload a new image and just drop it here, or click this button to select a file from your computer. And if I choose a new image will appear here, right? So yeah, that's just the way to do that. So you can edit pretty much any element, and just by selecting the element and editing the modifying the information in the left sidebar. And the whole homepage is very straightforward. If you get to this, for example, this section is actually a global block. We can see here in the structure panel that is just a different element, right? It's not like the usual section um, structure. And this is because this current project also repeats somewhere else in the site. I think it is in the about page in this case. So we can just edit the contents of this special element if we click in edit global block. If I'm going to do that in a new tab, and this will open the global block, and it does look kind of weird because it looks isolated. It's not part of the site in the interface, but I mean, you can see how it integrates in the page, right? It's just that you cannot edit here in the page. You gotta edit anything in the global block editor or um, entry, right? So what we would edit from here if you want to change something in the current project, there is this image, and then there is the heading. Let's assume that you want to update the current project, so you have this feature, right? So and obviously new projects are gonna be coming up, and these three feature projects are gonna be updated. So here you would just change the text, the header of the project that you want to be have featured here, and then the image is if you select the column, you can just select the background. And if you notice, well, the image, if it's not immediately obvious where the image is probably in background. So in this case, it is in background, and then we have to choose a new image, right? Just select it from the media library, and the up change would be applied immediately. For your changes to actually apply and be saved, you have to click the save button right here in the top right corner, and then the change will obviously remain saved right after. Um, This is obviously you can change it just um, just by clicking and selecting. You can also select the icon and change the icon. There is a selection of different free icons that you have available from Font Awesome. There are several sets, and then we have this custom that is made specifically for the site and following the branding guidelines. And this highlights of password element is also a global block that is also editable. I'm gonna edit in a new tab. It's also showing up in several pages. So it's a slider. If you click, we open the structure panel. We can see there is a slider that has, in this case, there are 5 slides, and you can see also in the navigation there are 5 slides that you can control individually, right? Each slide only has a heading, and then the image is in a background in the slide. In this case, there are several layers, and because one is the overlay, so there is a color overlay on top of every image. And then if you want to modify the image of the highlights of password, you just click, I guess, well, it's always going to be the first item, probably. Yes, yes, it's always going to be the first item, and then the image is going to be um, lying there, right? And you can also select the heading and change it. If you want to create a new slide and have more slides, you can. The easiest way to do that is to just duplicate an existing slide. So if you do that, you are going to see that now we have 6 slides, and then we have this duplicate that you can just modify also, changing the image and changing the heading, and this would make a new um, a new slide, a new highlight of password. If you want to delete it also, delete any slide, you can just select the advanced slide in this case, not only the header, so the whole element, the container element, and then click in the delete element button here in the structure panel. There is this button, or also here in the left sidebar, there is this delete button also, and that would get rid of the extra slide. Then you would hit save just to save your changes. I'm not gonna do that because I won't save my modifications. Then there is this contact us. Everything is very straightforward. Just the button that sends an email to your email. I mean, it opens the email client. Then the Google Map with the address, with your address, and then the header and the footer. Actually, I didn't show you how to edit the logo and the home because that's it's not part of the pages. That's a little bit apart, and that's in the section of header and footer. So we can select is from, if we have Breakdance open already, we can select the from here from the top bar to edit anything else. For example, in this case, the main header and the main footer are always going to show very much at the top of the list because they are obviously structural. So we can just click main header right here. Other way to do that is from the dashboard. We would hover over Breakdance, and then we would click in headers, and then we would open the main header. We would click this link, edit in Breakdance, and that would open um, this same page, right? This same editor, and this, if as long as we have this structure panel open, we can understand it. It's very straightforward. Here we have this section is a part that your site is not using, but you can always use it. It's like a announcement bar. So if you ever have any offer or anything that you would like to announce there in an announcement bar, you can totally activate that. Well, we can activate that for you. Um, then we have this header builder, which includes the logo, and you can change it if you know it's as easy as choosing a different image. And then this menu builder, which has the different pages inside, right? So each menu link is editable, right? You can just type in the link, or you can click in this little button and select the corresponding page, or if there's anything to edit, right? The corresponding page here in the list that pops up, and it would automatically add the link. Then we can click the blue button to add the link. Again, if there is anything to edit here in the header, which usually there wouldn't be. Then we can also edit the footer. This is also editable from here. You can, you can click in edit right here, and the main footer is going to show also top of the list. Or we can also go to Breakdance, then footers in the dashboard, and then open the link editing Breakdance here in main footer, and it will take us to the same place. Here in the footer, we can edit the elements as usual, right? You just click the element and edit the settings in the left sidebar. You can edit the section image, the background. You can click the background tab to get to edit the image. And then we have these menu links, which they are just buttons that you can edit the different link and the content. And you can click different tabs and edit, for example, the buttons. In this case, you can edit the typography, the size, uh, well, yeah, pretty much everything, the colors even, add some styles, uh, and edit everything from the buttons. Something to note is that here in Breakdance you have different access to the different resolutions. In this case, everything is going to be seen like in desktop as a default, but then you have different resolutions and you can select the different, well, for example, we select phone landscape and then apply some customizations specifically for the resolution that was seen. Um, you cannot have specifically the different content, but you can have different styles, different, for example, typography or different sizes uh, in different resolutions. You cannot have different content. Like, for example, if whatever this paragraph says, it's going to say the same no matter the resolution you select. And if you want to display different content in different resolutions, we can do that, but it's a little bit more complex. So the way to add content, let's assume that we're going to add content to the resources page. I'm going to type in resources, and it's going to pop at these resources page, which I don't know, is displaying home here, but let's ignore that. So let's assume that we're going to add some new section. I just picked this page randomly because we can use it as an example. We can click the add button and then let's add some section. And let's assume that you want to add, so let's add a column. And if we add a column, then we get to select the different layouts. And let's assume that we want to add a text inside the column, and then the other column is going to have an image, right? So like this, we just made a little layout, right, where you can just display any information. And then, for example, if you select the customizations and the typography, we can select different ways to align. In this case, I'm going to align everything in the middle. And then I'm going to select the column and I'm going to align the everything vertically, for example. And in this case, we have a new section that it has any elements that you might want to add to any page, right? As you can see, it's very easy to use Breakdance to add content to your site. And yeah, you can do that to any page. Yeah.